Have you ever wondered why tourists arrive in Singapore feeling excited, but leave completely shocked, in the best and sometimes the most unexpected ways? What exactly is happening in Singapore in 2025 that leaves visitors speechless, confused, amazed, or even slightly terrified by how advanced and disciplined this tiny island nation has become? Welcome to Infosphere, where we explore the world's most surprising stories. Today, we dive deep into the 10 shocking things tourists experience in Singapore in 2025, things that many travelers never expected from a country so small, yet so powerful, so futuristic, and so unbelievably efficient. So buckle up, because what you're about to hear will completely change the way you see Singapore. Ultra-cleanliness that feels unreal. Visitors say Singapore in 2025 looks so clean that it feels like a simulation. Streets are spotless, not because cleaners chase people, but because citizens naturally behave responsibly. Tourists are shocked when they see people pick up trash that isn't even theirs, wipe public tables after use, or carry small bags for their waste. Even more shocking is the enforcement. Littering fines are not small, they reach into the hundreds of Singapore dollars, and more than 90% of offenders are caught because the country has sensors, AI-powered cameras, and community enforcement that works. This extreme cleanliness is not just impressive, it makes tourists feel like they're stepping into the future, where a city can actually function like a well-organized machine. The unbelievable safety. Singapore's safety levels shock tourists the moment they arrive. People leave phones on tables, bags on public benches, laptops in cafes, and nobody touches them. More than 97% of Singaporeans report feeling safe walking alone even after midnight, a number unheard of in most countries. Tourists often describe it as scary safe, meaning it's so safe that it feels unreal. No catcalling, almost no petty theft, no aggressive behavior in public spaces, and extremely strict laws that keep the environment peaceful. For many travelers, especially from Europe or the Americas, this level of safety feels like an alternate reality. High tech everywhere. The third shocking thing tourists experience is the extreme level of technology. Singapore in 2025 feels like a futuristic science fiction film. Robots deliver food. Automated taxis drive themselves. Facial recognition checks people into hotels. Payment is cashless, even street stalls accept digital payments. The government uses smart sensors, AI management, and data-driven systems to control traffic, water, energy, and even public cleanliness. Tourists often say Singapore is at least 10 years ahead of the rest of the world. Some even feel overwhelmed by how fast and frictionless everything is. The strict rules. Singapore is famous for its strict laws, but tourists still get shocked by how seriously rules are followed. No chewing gum sales. No eating on trains. No smoking in public areas. No vandalism. No disorderly conduct. The fines are high, sometimes reaching up to hundreds of dollars, and enforcement is consistent. Tourists often find themselves double-checking signs to make sure they aren't breaking any laws, and many actually appreciate the order once they get used to it. This is one of the most memorable cultural shocks foreigners take home with them. The incredible food culture. Tourists expect good food, but what they get is next-level culinary shock. Singapore's hawker centers are legendary, cheap, delicious, multicultural, and open late. Michelin-rated meals can cost less than a typical fast food combo. The variety is shocking: Chinese, Malay, Indian, Indonesian, Peranakan, Middle Eastern, Western, Filipino, Thai, Japanese, Korean, all in one city. Visitors say it's impossible to run out of things to try. Even simple dishes like chicken rice or laksa feel unbelievably flavorful and authentic. The multicultural harmony. Singapore's diversity shocks visitors in the best way possible. People of different races, religions, and backgrounds live side by side with incredible respect. Housing policies ensure mixed communities. Schools teach multiracial understanding. Festivals of all religions are celebrated nationally. Tourists from countries with racial tension feel amazed at how peaceful and balanced Singapore's society is. The high cost of living. This is the shock that hits tourists the hardest. Singapore is expensive. Hotel prices, alcohol, transportation, branded goods, everything feels premium. Even simple things like taxis or restaurant meals can be surprisingly costly. More than 70% of tourists say Singapore is one of the most expensive places they have visited. But many also admit that the quality of services and the level of comfort often justify the cost. Nature in the future city. Tourists expect skyscrapers. What shocks them is Singapore's extreme connection to nature. Gardens by the bay, green rooftops, forested walkways, sky gardens on every building. It feels like a city built inside a garden. Even highways have vertical greenery. Visitors often say Singapore has found the perfect balance between technology and nature, creating a peaceful and beautiful environment. The efficiency of everything. From immigration to public transport to ordering coffee, Singapore works with breathtaking efficiency. Trains arrive every few minutes. Buses run on time. Queues move quickly. Airport immigration takes less than 5 minutes with automated lanes. Visitors often say it feels like the country wasted 0 seconds of their time. That efficiency shock stays with them long after they leave. The politeness and discipline. Finally, the most surprising thing tourists experience is the everyday behavior of Singaporeans. People queue properly. They speak politely. They give way to others. They stay quiet on trains. Even during peak hours, there is no pushing, no yelling, no chaos. This level of discipline shocks many visitors who come from louder, more chaotic cities. It's one of the biggest reasons Singapore feels so peaceful. So after hearing all these shocking things, here's the real question. Is Singapore simply ahead of the world, or is the rest of the world falling behind? One thing is certain, Singapore in 2025 is unlike any place on Earth. It is clean, safe, hyper-advanced, disciplined, multicultural, and breathtakingly beautiful. Tourists come expecting a normal holiday, but they leave with a deep respect for a nation that proves what is possible when a country prioritizes order, innovation, and unity. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Singapore, make sure you subscribe to Infosphere, where we explore the world's most fascinating nations and shocking global stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.